Welcome back. This is the next video in the series of videos I've been doing on my audio and stereo equipment. What we are looking at today is my primary use 8-track player, the 8-track Stereophonic Electrophonic tape player. This is the model 105, or at least that's what it says to its original little player instruction manual here. Very nice. Just came with the thing. I didn't even know I had this little booklet until I was going through a bunch of paperwork in the basement, and I just happened to run across it, and yes, it's to this machine, so I'm very glad that I have the original little owner's manual. But I didn't really choose to have this machine in my tower system. It just came to me by default. When I was putting together the system I have with all the components that I have, I like 8-tracks. They're a simple way to play music for a long period of time without having to get up, flip over the tape, or pick up the needle and flip the record or anything like that. You can just put it in and it can hypothetically run forever. I really like that. It's a good quality of 8-track players and tapes. And the music on it was pretty good. You know, 70s music, you can't really complain. But I didn't really choose to have this machine, but I knew it worked. I knew the belts were pretty much like new, and I knew the heads were barely worn. You might not be able to tell, but they are not worn at all, so they sound really good. I'm going to play a little bit of a tape for you. We're going to be listening to Hawaii's Greatest Hits today. So let me go ahead and just plug it in. You can hear a little bit of the music, and then I'll talk about some of the great features this machine gives for being kind of low end. So one great quality of 8-track players, if you didn't know this, they have really good bass. You don't have to compensate much on your receiver. You don't really have to have it cranked up all the way to get a really good bass sound. It has pretty good bass just because of how the ferric tape works. Because this, if you didn't know, it's kind of like a cassette, but with way wider tape. I think it's double, quarter-inch tape. But it's just ferric. It didn't come in chrome or any of the other fancy metal types. So it's just ferric tape, and if you know anything about ferric tape, it loves the bass region. It picks up those frequencies really, really well, and you can really tell this with 8-track, because it's basically the tape that you'd use in a reel-to-reel, but it's cut into 8-track, so the quality is reduced. But it does sound pretty good with the bass. So with this machine, it is stereo, as it says in the name. So that's a really nice thing to have. And I don't even know how many just mono 8-track players there were. Probably none, because it's 8-track. But I'd like to know if somebody had just made one, just for the hell of it. Anyway, I like some of these features on this machine. It's got a very soft touch button. You don't really have to press that hard. On some machines, you really have to press hard. I have an Olympic receiver, stereo, and 8-track player all built into one. It has a very tough button to press. It doesn't always work quite right. So I really like the nice soft touch button. Nice confirming sound. Hey, there's the tape on its own. As you can see, I really like the lights on this. You can see it from far away. You don't have to be just right up to see what number it is. You can be half a room away, and you can tell, oh, I'm on track 4, or I'm on track 1. Or 2, or 3, or 4. I really like this machine. It's very simplistic. It's not high-end, but it gives really good sound. Hiss is highly reduced. Then again, when I turn up loud, you can kind of hear hiss, so I'm just going to turn it up, and then I'm going to flip my high filter switch on my stereo, Pioneer 750, so you'll hear that. That's really nice, because if you're playing something like an 8-track and you have that hiss in the background, that high filter switch just removes the hiss entirely by reducing it to 6 kilohertz, which is quite nice. But yeah, this it comes in a really nice wooden case too. It's a little beat up because it hasn't been really well taken care of throughout its life, but at this point now I've tried to keep it as nice as possible. But it's just a really nice machine. If you have the availability to get one of these for your system, I would highly recommend it. Even though it's not high-end and it doesn't really have a lot of nice features. The ones that I listed are really all that you need. It's also visually appealing, maybe not to some people, but to me it's quite visually appealing. It does all the things I want it to. It's easy to adjust, the belts are easy to get. It's just a really nice machine. So that's pretty much it for this player today. I'm going to take that out of there. That's pretty much it for this, for the overview of this player. If you have any questions about it, or about any of the other components that I have in my system that we've reviewed so far, leave them in the comments down below. I'd be happy to answer them. Except for that, thank you for watching this video, and have a wonderful day.